Hey YouTube, thought I'd make a video. So I was going around, and down low here you can see the surface rust. So we were using one of these little guys, and you see all that black? So once that gets on there, whatever that is, it will no longer chooch. Anyway, I cleaned a little bit of this off up here, but what I wanted to show you, this had probably all had surface rust before, and what somebody did, maybe someone out there will know, but here, let me catch where I missed a bit, right up here. So here I got a rag and I got some gun wash. Anyway, check this out. That washes off of the other paint. So I'm thinking lacquer, and basically they shot over the rust, and I mean, maybe they cleaned it up first, it's hard to say, but there doesn't seem to be any scratching or anything, like any sanding marks. But the color here, see if you look below, yeah, there was some primer from when I was doing all this, and there was a few spots I ground off, so I hit them with primer just to protect until I got to them. But I wonder if you can see it at the back here. Let me move my light. There you go. It just sort of was blended over and maybe buffed in. You couldn't see it. But if you look right there, it's hard. Lighting's hard, but there's this darker color to it. It's not a base clear. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get a clean rag. See, there's my dirty rag. We'll throw that over there. The gun wash is just super strong thinner, 5005 something or other I get from the body shop supply. Yeah, I know. My videos are terrible. Here, hang on. Okay, so we're going to put... Well, by the way, you should be using gloves. But anyway, this is... look at this right here. Actually, I'm going to go to that spot because it's just so... Well, here, you can see where... Up here where I washed it off, and as I come down, you know what? That's not my primer. That's underneath. So they might have cleaned it up and primed it, but... Watch this. Okay, they did. There's their primer. There's the paint. That's not single stage urethane or anything of any quality. This is probably some crappy lacquer. There you go. That's not my primer. So someone cleaned this up, put lacquer over it. They might have ordered it in a spray bomb form. I know you go to Napa or Benson's, Auto Extra. They'll order it from their paint shop. You get a giant spray bomb. Yeah, look at that. You can see the weird color over the normal color there. And you get enough thinner on it, it literally washes off. And people say, like, you know, if you're doing it yourself, you go to Canadian Tire, you can buy that pour and shoot classic something or other paint, and I'm sure it's good, but if you ever had anything strong land on it, this is what happens. You can wash the paint and bodywork right off the truck. So check that out. That's all your paint. So the rust wasn't fixed really well on this truck. It seemed as though they hit it. This down here, this isn't something that happened over, let's see, over years. This is something that looked great like a year ago. The guy bought the truck and he goes, oh wow, the body's so good, I can't believe how good it is. Now that being said, we've replaced these. We could have patched those, but what happened is the inner wheelhouse was rotten in a few spots, so it just made more sense to cut these right off, fix that, and then put new steel on. This way he won't have trouble down the road. Here's your rockers on this truck. So there's a bit of surface and peel, but it's not, gosh, on camera it looks rougher than it is in real life, but it's really not that bad. We're going to sandblast that bottom edge all out. We're going to fix that. But yeah, so this is a really solid truck. Floors are good, box is okay. One rail needs a little patch. A lot of little stone chips down there from, you know, probably bigger tires and whatnot. It is a 2006, but the other place where my grinder got that black in it, you come up here, and this came out real quick. Apparently you couldn't see that too much before. I don't know. I mean, I find I can see it, but look. Oh, I might need more thinner. The wetter, the thinner, the better. But on the other side, I ruined, you know, and those rolocs. I mean, they're not, the good ones aren't cheap, right? So I'm gonna have to get more thinner, but you can see it's smearing around and it's actually changed color. But yeah, so you can't even sand the junk off. Like this old lacquer stuff, you go, oh, it was good. No, that's just a mess. I mean, bird crap would melt that. So anyway, various spots of the truck. So both lower rear quarters. This was an issue on the other side. I sanded it all off and ate a bunch of paper. That sucked. And yeah, so apparently I can just spend a minute and wash it all off. And I mean, this has been washed with well, first the whole truck. We washed it with spray 9 because there was a lot of oil on the bottom, and hosed it off with the pressure washer. We did that 3-4 times outside. You can see here too, actually, I washed that off. That had the same stuff all over it. Down there, the doors, all that chipping was just kind of hidden. So I sanded some of that off. It was a little thinner, but anywhere where they tried to blend it and make it real nice, like the back quarters, they went right up to that body line. Like it came up into here, and you couldn't even really see it. It was buffed in pretty nice. But as soon as, you know, the wax and grease remover, you could kind of go, hey, why is the finish odd looking? You know, so yeah. So that's something you might run into. So that's good to know. This is a pretty nice truck. The other side's coming along good. Some guys don't like using that pink stuff, but little minor marks and swirls, I don't know. I don't mind it. They're not deep, like there's barely anything there, and some guys would, well, the primer will cover that, the paint will cover that, but I don't know. I'm a little bit thorough. I think, you know, for the whole 10 minutes it took me to pink all them little spots, you can sand them in about 20 minutes, half an hour, and prime over them, and they're gone. They're very minor. But yeah, the truck is coming clean. You know, tomorrow the rest of the other side will probably look just like this side, and then we can seal it up and paint it. You know, so we're gonna paint both sides. The tailgate we're gonna do separate, as well as the hood, just because the truck is so big, and I do have an oversized booth, but I think we'll be good here. But yeah, this whole corner down here, I haven't worked on the very bottom yet. You can see, so this again, it came way up here, and it had that weird stuff on it that I had to wash off. Where else? Oh, across the top. This is where the plastic always chews through the paint. So you can see we've ground all that off. I still got to do the top, but up here at the front, it came down to here and went across, and then here it kind of went up, and I'll tell you, it looked buffed in so well, it was nice. But as soon as you started wiping on it or rubbing on it, you had to get it all off. So anyway, lacquer paint. I don't know. It'll get you by, I guess. I don't know if I'd use it. Somebody spills something on there, brake fluid or gas, you know. I think that was a complaint back in the day. I remember my uncles doing body work. They said, oh, don't get gas running down. Don't, you know, where today that's not much of an issue, a little bit. But, you know, I'm thinking that old lacquer paint, maybe the gas, you know, did what the thinner could do. You know, but anyway. So sometimes when you think you're way ahead and things are going good, that's just a problem you run into. So I figured I'd make a quick video to show you that sometimes you can wash a paint job off. If somebody brought me a car that was all lacquer, I'll tell you right now, wow, like it just gums up your paper, the grindstone, the paper, sandpaper, rolocs, whatever you use. The box had a few dents, but it's solid. You can see where there was a smokestack up there. That's why there's a patch up in there. Anyway, That's it for today. Have a good weekend.